This is Palantir. Here are your price targets for Wednesday. We ended the day at $23.40, down more than 4%. The day's low, $22.72. The day's high, $24. This is where we ended, at the middle of the trend and at resistance. To the north side from where we are takes us to a gap fill starting at $24. It closes out at 2 standard deviations, which is another resistance area and a potential take profit area as well. And above that at 3 standard deviations and resistance, 24.94 and 25.46. Ignore all the horizontal lines. To the south side at -2 standard deviations, 22.39, 21.89, and at -4 standard deviations and another level of support and a potential buy-in area if we should get so lucky as to get back down in this range. That would be 21.38. The pink lines are my previous buy areas. I've bought this at different times and I've sold out at different times. And we have, as I look left, a gap to the downside that's still in play. That would take us to roughly 1671. That opened up on the 6th of February. We are in a downward channel on the 5-minute time frame, but we are not even close to this zone. We are many trades away, but the potential is there. So we've got this one, and then this one, and then this tiny one down here. The RSI is looking like it is going sideways on the 5-minute, on the daily, going down, so there's a sell-off. The weekly going down, and notice how we are reverting to the south side because we have hit the overextended area of 70 and above, overbought. And on the monthly, we are turning up with room to move. Back to the 5-minute. I am in this trade still. We have hit our 1-year price target, and that is where the red line is, this red line here. I've tracked this many times. It's a moving target. The price targets have changed a lot on this ticker. And as you can see, we met that target. And the next target is $30, which represents a 28.21% from where we are. Again, a long ways off. Now let's go to NVDA. I think I'll be hanging on to all of my Palantir stocks that I bought in the past. I might just do, a quick trade, for Palantir getting in and getting out, but keep my core shares that I purchased a while ago. All right, we ended the day at 694.52, down more than 4%. The day's low, 677.34, all the way up to $719.56. We are at the middle of the trend, and when we are down here and we grind up, this turns into resistance. So I see us chopping along here, and tomorrow the company reports earnings, and a trader named Murat says he sees a correction until roughly the 660 range, which would take us to right about, where are we, 660? So basically around -2 standard deviations. Oh, where are we? Got too far. Like right around here. So close to this area. So he sees it possibly falling down to this area for a correction to the upside, taking us to about $800 plus. So the 1-year price target for the analysts is $751, and then above that, all the way to $1,200. Of course, that's a long ways off. Many trades to the upside and to the downside, but there's a gap that would take this all the way down to possibly 630. I don't know if we could get there. We are in a downward channel here, but from where we are at 690 to get to 630, I don't think that's going to happen this week. If the news comes out that we make the estimate the estimate for earnings and the estimate for the revenue, this could be running like crazy and off to the races and for the next leg up. My dad, I believe, is in this trade still. I've talked about this many times in the past. This was part of my gap and go trades where we did fill the gap, so I stopped tracking it, but I've tracked it many times in the past. I've stopped because it just got crazy. All right. Let's see, this looks kind of wonky because of the linear, but let me try to make some sense out of this. We are right here. So we are at resistance on the daily, even without the earnings hype or anything else like that, knowing that if we hit resistance on the daily, there's going to be a pullback. So that happened. So the next target on the daily is 794 on the high end at 4 standard deviations. 746 basically at 3. And on the weekly, okay, this is getting really wonky. Look at the RSI is still turning down. All right. And on the monthly, we are turning up, but look at this high here at 88, and then it cracked to the downside. You cannot expect, again, a stock to stay high and continue to run without taking pauses. Look at Apple, look at Boeing, look at every stock that has run, and then there's a pullback or a crash for a correction. So this is going to happen to NVDA as well. But that's an opportunity to get in and possibly ride it up to the next leg. But on the 5-minute, we do have some room before we're overbought and hit resistance and hitting resistance. Let me clean this up again. So that is a look at Palantir and NVIDIA. If there is a ticker that you would like me to take a look at, please let me know. And by the way, Murat also says on FSR, there's a strange triangle that's forming with a potential exit to the top on the daily chart. Risky, but interesting. So let me just flip this very quickly to the daily. It's hard to see with my chart. I have to erase everything. The linear, so I'm not going to do that, but check it out. The RSI on the daily is turning down. And again, he thinks this is a risky trade, but there was also news today, something about, sorry, that's FSR. That's NVIDIA, FSR. I meant to turn this, here we go. They could be delisted because they're not meeting the requirements. So there's a bunch of things going on there. And I know that people like to trade this one because it's a meme stock as well. So there's a gap I see right here to the north side that will take us to roughly 73 cents. We're at 63 right now. But again, check that out. I didn't mean to go over FSR. This video is getting way longer than it should be. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.